here. We want to get on the four great judgments of America. And we see that America is getting another round of these storms that's coming. And to be pledged with too much rain will destroy properties and lives. As we see Kentucky, I believe Tennessee, and a couple other of those mid states that's going to be under flash flooding. There will be nocturnal, of these storms that they would get another round of these vortex of these tornadoes. So it says to be pledged, my brothers and sisters, with this too much rain will destroy properties and lives. It swells the creeks and rivers. Too much rain floods cities, towns, large body of waters at the ocean shore. Line will be made to swell with unusual highways, dumping billions of tons of water over the narrow seashore lines. Rain destroyed properties and killed cattle by drowning them in lowland. Rain destroyed the hiding places of victorious beasts and reptiles, bringing them out, fighting these small towns and people homes and farms. Rain weakens and destroys railroads, truck lines, bed, and bridges. Rain undermines foundation of all types of buildings. Rain makes the atmosphere too heavy with moisture, causing sickness. Wind with rain can bring destruction to towns and cities, causing germs and causing sickness to the people. It produces unclean water by the swelling of the stream and destroying of the pure drinking water used for the health of the people. Rain is a destructive army with itself. Hailstorms are also a property and life destroyer. Snow is the most dreaded pledge when it comes in great drift from 5 to 35 feet. It buries your property and lives. It destroys your highways and your cities and gravel towns and cities. It put a burden of expense upon the cities. It put a burden of expense upon the cities to repair it. The caged in or roofs of homes, we see the cutting off of homes, the cutting off of transportation, isolation area, bring about the starvation. Communication destroyed with the icing of the communication wires. See, snow looks pretty because of its clean look. We see almost everything of nature is beautiful, but it can be turned into death and destruction against man. See, snow is prophesied to be one of the weapons that God will use against this wicked America. Job 38, 22 and 23. Hell also is mentioned in the same two verses where God plainly tells us that he had preserved it against this time of trouble, against this day of battle and war. The Holy Quran also teaches us that God used snow, rain, wind, hail, earthquakes, fire against former wicked people. Is America any better than the people read about in the history that God destroyed? No, she is not as good. These people was not as wicked as the American people. Earthquakes can destroy towns and cities instantly. America is in the grip of divine judgment. America is in the position towards her one slave, so-called Negro, as Pharaoh was, with Israel as his slave. She is in this position because of the injustice done to the American so-called Negro slave brought to America over 400 years ago. Refused to let them go free. They only said that you are free, knowing within that you are not able to lead them without anything. But the injustice continued to increase. Now they plan death. So this God was predicted by the prophets to come to the defense of this people, the so-called Negro, In the last days, after they served the enemy for 400 years, the Bible declared to Abraham in Genesis that God was just the people to whom his people, Abraham, will be in bondage. This does not mean Israel. This means the present black people, the members of the black nation, who have and are fulfilling their prophecy. God and the person Master Falah Muhammad will not be defeated. See, the more evil, deceiving, tricking, making false promises to the American so-called only increase America divine chastisement and doom. But some of you guys are angry with me because I talk about this judgment of America. And you'll probably say, well, you want everybody dead because you talking about, you know what I mean, what God's gonna do to America. We all gonna die. Yeah, eventually we all gonna go. So if you want to remain on her task, if you want to get under her task and be under this task, then go along with her. See, God is planning a better future for us. If you come to him, he have a future better than this. How come you don't get that? A lot of you still are living in this world what must soon come and pass. God is trying to bring in a new world, something permanent for you. You don't want to live here where it's this temporal. God want to give something to you that's going to be permanent. Now, America knows that our trouble lies in the mistreatment of the black man, the so-called nigger. But she is too wicked to give up tricking the nigger and deceiving him on false promises. She just cannot stop. Opportunity is to open, and she thinks that there is no one to hinder her. Fuck America. She's getting what she deserves. I pray that God will dismantle her. We see God has chosen his people, and he delights in fighting this enemy. According to the history of the former people, delights himself by going forth against them when they extended the limit. So it is with America. They must be separate. America will not agree to see the Negro separate from her until she has suffered divine punishment as Pharaoh suffered. The same things the other evil nation suffered before them is now coming upon this people. She seeks to keep her slave rob opportunity and wealth. She envies success coming to an American Negro free slave. She charged them high prices to keep them down, to deceive them through a few of what we call Uncle Toms and the political circle, class, and all the professional classes. She offered them little favoritism to help her work against their own people, the black people. But they too will suffer along with the enemy of justice, of the poor, so-called Negro. They must be separate. Envy and hatred are going between the two people, regardless of their preaching of social integration. The truth must come. What is better than a program you find I have written you two black and white cannot get along in peace, since you have never got along in peace? Do you know why white America does not like to talk with you about separation, and why he called separation of the two people the wrong solution for peace between the people? He knows that it's promised and that God will do it. Then why do they not agree with separate themselves from you and me and we from them? Why are this black man and white man all over the earth now in disagreement with each other to live in peace? Do you know why? Oh, foolish American so-called nigger, seek some of this earth that you can call your own, to live on in peace. Unite and ask the government for a portion of America. This is what we need somewhere to live to ourselves and let this white man live to himself. Two people are now brothers. They are aliens to each other. See, God did not make them brothers to each other. I ask you, my brothers and sisters, to learn this and learn it quickly. Fly for your life to the refuge of Allah and come follow me. America lands is being divinely curtained. We see this Holy Quran, Surah 1341. See they not that we are visiting a land, curtain it of its size. And Allah pronounced a doom, and there is no repeller of his decreed. And he is swift and calling to account. Black man in America, there is no one as blind as you are seeing what is going on against white America. I have warned you for nearly 40 years that Allah, God, and a personal master Fallah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, came to me and gave me the truth, and I've been preaching it to you continually. Now you see what is going on. As America had done, so now should be done into her. America has surrounded the country of the people. She had blown the cities to pieces. She had killed the inhabitants. Those who were left alive, she put to flight, running from shelter from destruction by America might. It is very sad and horrible to look at the things that America had done, which are now coming on this country. For many years, centuries of years, America have lived a luxurious, wicked life while hating her black slaves and depriving them of justice, shooting them down on the streets, on the highways, in the woods and fields for nothing. She did it just because she felt that she had the advantage, and she wanted to kill black people as she was made to do. The Bible, Psalms chapter 10, verse 8. He sat in the lurching place of the village, in a secret place, till he murdered innocents. His eyes are against the poor. Up until this very minute, she is seeking to destroy the black man in America and to deprave him of freedom to do for self. We see America never desired a departure of the black slave from his white slave master. America wished only to hold the black slave in order to continue to treat him with evil. Pharaoh hatred and injustice to Israel and Egypt in the time of Moses to serve America as the one, but she had fallen headlong into the destruction of Allah, God. See, America runs to and fro and seeking way out, but she does not try to justify her black slave for justice and equality amongst the nation of the earth. America made us into nothing. She used us to mock us before the nation of the earth. But a God with unlimited wisdom, knowledge, and power is now befriending the black slave. He has chosen the black slave to be his people. But the foolish black people have yet to come to that knowledge that Allah God is their best friend and that he is here to save them from destruction of a people who have shown evil and hatred to us all our lives. America divided us one against the other. The black man in America is so divided against each other that you seek all the time to do evil against each other. You cannot even befriend them unless they take advantage of it to call you a fool for trying to befriend them, as it was with us by Midway Technical Schools. Midway Technical Schools came to us for help. We gave them that help to keep them from falling. It cost us $30,000 to set them free, or they back rents and other bills that they had. Take a look at how they had turned on us for the purpose of wrecking all of their beautiful businesses set up for them and others to enjoy on the south side of Chicago, Illinois. The fall of America foretold separation is the answer. The Holy Quran Surah 81, 6, 7, and 12. And when the cities are set on fire, and when men are united, the folding up is the title taken from the first verse of that chapter, in which the above verses are found. When the sons fold up, the Holy Quran Surah 81 prophesies the folding up of a recorded work, a record of what people have done as the use will no longer be necessary. This chapter refers to what take place in the resurrection. One party is recorded as the beginning, where the other party is discontinued. We see this clearly being made manifest today. War causes the destruction of civilization. War destroys the cities and towns of a nation. Chapter 81 of the Holy Quran is now being fulfilled. The sun and the stars and mountains, camels, and wild animals all mentioned in the first 4 verses of this chapter and are not without. The coming of God refers to by the prophet is unite a people who have been divided against self by the enemies. He chose these people for building a better world. The Bible Revelation refers to the destruction of the beast and his chief instructor, the dragon. The name beast given here is not referring to 4-foot animals, but to a people who rule is like that of a savage beast. The theologians, most of them from the time of Martin Luther, who I think was the author of these terms, beasts, dragons, especially the late Pastor Russell and Judge Radford, founder of Jehovah's Witness sect, take the term dragon to refer to the Pope of Rome, the father of the Christian church and the Christian religion. This is the first time since we have been lost in this part of the earth that we want to unite the black nation of the earth into one under the guidance of God who is now present. Why should the master continue to deceive his slave? He teaches the slave that he is a free citizen, equality. Why do you slave masters wants to hold them for hostage? Pray. You do not need them. Your machines do the labor that slaves used to do. Why not let them go? You want to go to war against Allah and the freedom that Allah came to do for you slave before you Pharaoh had that same idea. He did not want Israel to go free in the land to themselves. Pharaoh lost the war against Allah, was drowned in the Red Sea. The loser of this war will land in a lake of fire, not water. If white America wants to free her slaves, she can easily do so. This will be simpler and easier than what she is doing, killing, provoking them through police force, National Guards, and fighting the U.S. Army, as we see in Detroit, Michigan. America's actions show us two things. First, she wished to cause fear amongst the so-called with a display of many deadly weapons. But Allah is removing the fear. Secondly, she feared to approach her armed slave unless she is armed. This has been a historical relation between the white man and his slave. The white man seeks the leaderships of the so-called nigger. They help him keep the dissatisfied slaves subject to him without complaint about injustice. The white man would say, nigga, you should be happy. You are better off than many of your black kind with a job. The white slave master brought our fathers here to do slave work. Our free labor had made the white slave master richer than their brethren, Europeans. It offers any of this land that they took from the Indians. See, the 22 million so-called niggers should be seeking some of this earth on which to live and build an independent nation out of the South. See, the white master only offers a job. Allah, God has come, and a person of Master Falah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, to free us. The Negro slave must be free. This is the meaning of the resurrection. Allah God has says To Elijah Muhammad, that he intends to free the American so-called Negro at any price. For 400 years, you slave masters have been killing the so-called Negro without receiving any resistance, regardless of his peaceful way with you. We the Muslims have tried to live in peace here in America. There was not a single incident in our 36 years of history where we have ever made an aggressive move against you, but you have attacked us several times. We have proved to the world that you are impossible to live with in peace. You have condemned and killed the just and he who do not resist you. James 5:6. You have destroyed many towns, cities, and people, as you have divided the so-called one against the other. So Allah should divide you and your brethren. As you have done to others, so shall it be done to you. The Bible. And when the cities are set on fire, this is a sign of the end of you as a power. The house doomed to fall. We cannot deny the fact that the Christian race is responsible for this universal corruption in our land and sea. When the same corruption that the hands have made will come, their doom. We see the Christian preach that which they cannot do and cannot do, such as love your neighbor. I have yet to meet one who loved his neighbor as did himself. Thou shalt not kill. I have yet to meet such a Christian. They even fight against each other, rob and kill each other, but yet represent themselves as world peacemakers with whom the great deceivers of the world will reap what they have sown. And they corrupt many people and nations under discuss a good, peaceful, loving Christians. The Christian rest is full of the worst crimes, practicing evil to the fullest, seeking to practice them other nations as well. Their universal temper are ever parade before the world. They both have new girls and women. They are before your eyes in almost everything: murdering, gambling, robbery, drunkenness, drug, adultery, lying. There is hardly any end to it. The lands and seas are filled with deadly weapons of war. The islands of the seas are filled with corruptions. But all the nations of earth, for they are proud and boastful, and are now hated and despised it, according to their wishes. The religion of Christianity is a curse to us, the black man, and is full of the slavery teachings. See, they have poisoned the Bible with they adding to and taken from the truth. Now their doom is in sight. It is their own work. The command to sea with their powerful navies parking them off the shore. Other nations. They secure the air base on their soils to place their deadly bombs carrying planes within easy striking distance of those whom they fear to be the enemies. Is this not the easy way to make a Christian? Is this the act of a real Christian? The followers of Jesus, when they preached, came for peace of mankind and to teach the seeking of the sword and the turning of the other cheek. Where is the good Christian amongst this race? To love managing other people's affairs. They are in every fight or war if it matters not with whom or where, but yet crying peace, peace, with every deadly weapons of war to provoke other nations to war. Shall not the God of peace and justice deal with you and your troublemaking as he did with those before you? I warn every one of you, my people, fly to Allah with me for refuge. As I warn you, the judgment of this world has arrived. Get out of the slave making Christianity into the right religion, Islam. The house you are in shall surely fall and never rise again. The destruction and fall, the destruction and fall of the world that we have known is now without a doubt and process. When we refer to the world, we are referring to the world of the white man, for the world of the black man have yet to come in. The world of the black man by divine guidance is now emerging in on the old world of the white race. This makes the destruction fall of the world of the white man. Okay. We are not taught to look forward to a starvation that does not exist. We see Christianity offer you starvation after death. You must go down to the earth and rot. See, that kind of starvation I don't want. I would not give you 2 cents for it. Any man that will work hard all his life praying to God to take and get him a home beyond the grave is a fool. I'm sorry if you think ill of me, but the truth is all I'm going to speak. We see this black man today in America is in a terrible condition. He is blind, confused, wondering about a high noon on Judgment Day. As Judgment Day was not here, instead of some remote hour to come, I will not be bringing you this message at this hour. We see Elijah is here because the day of judgment is here. What a sorry spectacle we make before God and the nation of the world. Here we are upwards of 20 million black Americans who have given their blood, sweat, service for 400 years in a vain hope that one day justice will be ours. When the Cold War sounded, the black soldiers stood. The plains of Europe, Asia, Africa, America have been fertilized by his blood. Yet the government of the nation for which he fought and who calls, he died, allowed his sons to be lynched, and then add salt to the wound by concealing the identity of the lynchers. More, the government seeks out the lynchers and then turn them over to their fellow men who share the lynch calls and motives. Our daughters and wife are lynched before our eyes. We see the government will not put a stop to it. See, they'll allow the lynchers to lynch you and me if we are charged with attempt to rape one of them. The lynchers live right next door, down the streets, up the alley, yet they are not brought to justice. We see all this grief you and I must suffer. See all these burdens we must bear. It's beyond comprehension. The American government's mistress of the seas and lords of the air and conqueror Irish ships and swears of the lands and pourers of the deep and bottom of the ocean is unable to defend us from assault, rape, murder on the streets of these jungles. When the same man could deny that it is now time that you and I take counsel amongst ourselves to the end of finding justice for ourselves. If we continue to accept these injustices, we are nothing but cowards. If we are cowards, then we ought to just go home, kill our wife, and then commit suicide. We kill the devil in Germany. We kill his own brother for him. We kill our brother for him. Yet we are without justice today. We have nothing. Our sons and daughters are lynched, kicked, beaten, hung up in the sun, drowned in the river, in ponds and lakes. The bodies are found in the streets and on the highways and the bush, killed by the very people whom they had slayed their life out to give comfort. When you speak up in behalf of your own people, you are classified as a troublemaker. You are classified as a race hater and everything but good. How can you as a people ever be anything if you are going to crush out your own leaders who try to seek justice for you, even at the cost of their own life? I, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, classified as a race hater. What race, what teacher am I that you can classify as race hatred? How can the devil says little Elijah Muhammad is teaching race hatred in the face over 400 years of his hatred of you and me? God have revealed to me the truth of these race of people, and I tell you of it, and that is the truth. Don't say that I'm teaching race hatred. Just say I teach the truth. There's only one thing that I'm teaching today that is hatred. That's the truth of the devil. The truth I don't know. Only God knows the truth of the devil. He has revealed it to me. If that is not the truth, let the devil attack God. If it is just that the truth have come to you people without the knowledge of the truth, you're deceived and misled by wise, wicked scientists. I'm here with the truth from God Almighty, and for that truth I would give my life. I would not hide that to introducement of falsehood. I won't mix it up with falsehood. I said to you, my beloved brothers and sisters of injustice, if you only reflect on what I said from the mouth of Elijah, you were not taken for insult. You were not taken for a race hater. You were taken for a beloved brother, a beloved teacher, a beloved defender of yourself. I'm not before you myself. I have not been sent to myself. My mission not from me, nor my mission from the devil. I have been sent by Almighty Allah, God. It is a very strong and powerful mission that will bring a turning point in the history of the world at large, the black man in particular. The truth will make you free. What is that truth that will free us? He said, we are already free. Abraham Lincoln free us. See, that's not the kind of freedom of which I speak. Abraham Lincoln was not instrumental in trying to free you. Remember Abraham Lincoln won the United States of America. They didn't want two presidents. They didn't want two government ruling America. Only one government with one president for all. It was not that they were so full of love for the so-called that he wanted to free them from the hands of his brother. But this was a good weapon to bring his brother to submission to the idea of the United States and one president of that United States. So therefore, you was just lucky that you got free from servitude, slavery at that time. Otherwise, you would probably still have been in servitude, slavery. Today, you say you love Lincoln. You love him because he freed us. I said to you, my beloved brother and sisters, Miss Lincoln was not your brother. He was not your friend anymore than George Washington. Now we are 100 years up from slavery. Many of you feel proud that you have been schooled. You have few diplomas and degrees. You can do little things educationally, but that does not get you justice in America. You still suffer injustice with an armed force